So I don't really know what I'm going to call this one. I know what I've got circulating around my head. Oh, by the way, before I say anything else, I just wanted to say that it's Charles Freck, not Robert Freck. Sorry about that. Oh dear. No, I've been up quite late tonight, and I know, like, I'm in this like weird nostalgic mood where I feel very lonely, and I just kind of wanted to like riff on that. Maybe, I don't know. Like, it's at these moments at like almost 1 a.m. where I feel as though like all the memories flood back. Because like, I'm almost 27, and I don't know. Is it weird to say that like I didn't expect to live this long? I know. Bedhead. But yeah, I didn't really expect to live this long, and with that comes an unnatural. I wouldn't say. Would you call it unnatural? But like this, like excessive meditation on the past. It's like, as dark as this sounds, like I thought I was gonna be like at one point like a total like burnout, and then I was just gonna like off myself at some point. So I thought was gonna happen, but I'm here. Would I say that I'm burnt out? Kind of. I'd say that like maybe part of my brain has been melted. Like, I don't know, I think it, like, part of my brain probably like resembles melted plastic, with like all of the like sour acid that I've dropped. But yeah, I just get spacey now. And I don't know, like, I wouldn't say it's affected me that badly. I just get spacey, and like I said in the other video, like about my headspace and that. But anyway, I keep thinking about the past. Specifically, like my time in education, and a lot of like a lot of the adventures that I went on. So I think that last vlog sort of jogged my memory from a lot of things. People I've met, places I've been, things I've done. One that comes to mind is this time when I was younger, and me and my brother, like my brother came home from uni and I wasn't at uni yet, and he brought home this like blunt, and we smoked it on the school run. Like during the school run, we had to walk past these like parents and kids who were going to school, and we like had eyes like brake lights, you know. And so we go to like my room, which is the room that was like outside, of the house. And you know, we have like a bunch of munchies and shit, and I start playing Doom on my, like, Doom BFG edition, you know, with like 3 games in one disc. And he's just like vibing or whatever. I keep meditating on moments like that, or like when I play like Dark Souls or Fallout New Vegas in that room as well. Or like times I'd spend with like groups of people where I would just like stand outside of college smoking cigarettes and looking like, I don't know, a massive Smiths fanboy, I guess. Even though I don't really like consider myself of the masculine mode, I suppose. I think I just kind of fall somewhere in the middle. Kind of like trans-ish kind of thing. I don't know. I try not to like classify myself as anything nowadays. Like, because I thought like, oh yeah, for sure I'm just like trans girl. I'll try and be this thing. And it's like, nah, I'm not really vibing with that. I think I'll just be like kind of just like a funky individual, I guess. Or at least try to be. Someone's like, these my brother's trying to like clear his throat or something. I don't know if you can hear that. Hopefully you can't. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, I know, like, yeah, I just try and be like a funky individual nowadays. Because it's just not comfy. It's not comfy to like shoehorn something into yourself, you know. You just gotta like vibe. Let it be all organic and that kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know. I would say that I had a boyhood, for sure. Like, I was like a little boy at some point, but like, I knew that within myself there was something that didn't really line up, and so it took me a while, but now I'm here, so that's good. Do I regret being like a lad? Sometimes, in some situations, I do. Because like I had a lot of like toxic ideas and stuff, because went through a period of like trying to be, you know, masculine and, you know, what was expected. But then when that didn't satisfy, I just kind of tried to be like, oh, I guess I've got to live the rest of my life feeling unsatisfied in this role. That's not really true. I didn't really have to do that. So now I feel a lot better. Yeah. Compensating doesn't just hurt you, it also hurts other people, because, you know, you can sometimes, like, do the wrong thing, you know, and hurt someone's feelings, rather than being yourself, where, at least if you know, it's hard to explain, like, if you, like, internalize toxic features of masculinity, then inevitably you're going to affect somebody negatively, you know. If you're just doing that to fit in, then that's bad. You should probably be yourself more. Or at least that's what I think. Yeah. I might do some cuts because of silence, but other than that, it's pretty much unedited. What other things am I nostalgic about? My delinquent days, being a bit of a delinquent. I had like 2 delinquent phases, right? I had one when I was a teenager, where I walked around in like a trench coat and steel toe cap boots. And I had one when I was in my early transition kind of thing. Both very similar. You know, a lot of that. Trespassing, talking with strange individuals, meeting with strange individuals, reading a lot of transgressive literature, that kind of stuff. I'd say, I know, because I did end up reading the Turner Diaries, because I heard about it online, and it's kind of cringe, to be honest. It's just like this book that's some guy's political jerk-off fantasy of being a Nazi revolutionary. Nothing special. Not very well written either. I got to the part where he had like been rescued from being imprisoned and tortured, and at that point I was just like, nah, I don't want to read it anymore. I think I've read enough, actually. What else is there to talk about? What other books have I read? I got obsessed with like The Stranger for a while by Albert Camus. Obsessed with that book. I mean, I also read a particular cookbook as well, but then I realised that most of the shit in there is probably just like bullshit, you know. Just like, oh, I heard about this book from this like really like cool like blonde dude who rode a moped at my college or something, and you know, the whole thing about like Banana Dean That was dumb. So are several things in that book. You kind of just look at it and you kind of like, it's like a cartoonishly like anarchist in a way. Like there's probably some truth to it, but most of it's bullshit and not really worth your time. What else? I read Schopenhauer's like I think it's like Studies in Pessimism or something as well. I did read a bit of Schopenhauer. I've got a book over there, World as Will and Representation. I wouldn't say it's transgressive. I mean, like, Fluids by May Leitz, I guess I can include that. But, like, that's splatterpunk. It's not really, like, going over kind of Norman headspace. But no, with Schopenhauer, when I first read him, I was like, this makes perfect sense. You know, the world is horrible. You know, all of these things. I'm not going to go into it because it's a bit of like a... How do you put it? It's just a lot to go through. A lot to think about. But like, all I can say is that the older I got, the less I believed what he was saying. Mostly because I've gotten more optimistic as I've gotten older. Like I said, I didn't expect to live this long. And I was like, oh shit. Like, even if I live like another 10 years or so, or like 20 or 30, maybe even 40, I don't know. Like, I need to have an optimistic outlook to like make the most of my time. Yeah, if you notice that my voice is still like slightly deeper than usual, it's because I'm still a little bit ill and my voice has yet to recover, but it is recovering, so that's good. I don't know. I just listen to my voice and I'm like, I really take notice of it now. There's one time I was really nostalgic for, where I would come home from like primary school or something, and my stepdad would be watching Star Trek on TV. Not like Next Generation, but like the original Star Trek. And I had my like shitty, I think it was like a Motorola orange flip-up phone or something. If I get a photo of it, I might put it here. You know, maybe if I'm feeling fancy with the editing, I guess. No, I'm very nostalgic for that time because that was like the last sort of memories I had of like pure childhood innocence, I guess. Before like I was introduced to the world of, you know, I don't know. It's like, this is going to be a cringe thing to say, but like, before I like went off the cliff, I guess you'd say, referring to like The Catcher in the Rye, you know, where like the world is unstable and there's these things like cigarettes and drugs and, you know, people just like kids get snatched up and they go missing, and it's like, whoa, you know, or like, you know, you have to live in like conditions that you're not used to, because you used to live in like a house, which, you know, it was like your house, but now you live in temporary accommodation, you know. It's like the film of innocence was like shattered by the hammer of reality, I guess, if you wanted to be poetic about it. Yeah. A lot of the books I read before that sort of watershed moment were like, I don't know, I didn't really read them, I had them read to me. The Faraway Tree stories, various Mr. Men books. Shit, there's this really thick one. I can't remember what it was. I also remember watching like Aang the Last Airbender a lot, and Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. That was cool. That was a very cool time. Shit, what other nostalgic things can I think about? I remember when I was 16. No, I wasn't 16, I was like 15, I think. Or was I? No, I was 16. Because I remember I used to smoke this brand called Rothman's Blues. And, you know, you get like the older students. I shouldn't say that, but like, what we used to do is we get like the older students to like go into the shops and buy cigarettes for us. So bad. But yeah, no, like, I remember like sucking down cigarettes and just talking shit with this like the emo type people, or like the metalheads. I remember going into like farmer's land also and smoking cigarettes in view of the farmer as well, just to say like, fuck you, you know. Like, this land is your land, this land is my land kind of stuff. But like less refined and more like juvenile, I guess. No, yeah, like, believe it or not, I haven't had piercings up until fairly recently. Nose piercing and ear piercing happened in the same year. Like the ear piercing's here, it's got a little ring in there. You can't see it on the camera because it's a potato. So you use my like nose ring. I like obviously like put it in the other day, so it's got like a little tiny scab on it. But that's fine, I suppose. Let me think just for a bit about something I want to say. So I wanted to like, my eyes are itchy. I think there's like pollen, but I don't know if there's like pollen at night. There probably is. But like, Denpa. So I think the reason why I like completely like fell into Denpa is probably because like, after education, the first thing I did was spend time as a NEET for a while, and a bit of a hiki, because I was just like shut in my room playing video games and browsing the internet and going on 4chan and shit like that. Then I got like a part-time job. God, I can't. Right, okay. Then I got a part-time job, which was £5 an hour. Yeah, it's really bad. But like, it was whatever, you know. At the time, I did not earn a lot. I did not do a lot of hours, you know. I was nowhere near like being able to pay any tax, because I was just like using that money. That money like barely covered my cigarette habit, which I don't do now, thank God. But yeah, half the money I made I pumped back into the place I was working at. What else? Yeah, no. After that, fuck, man. What happened? After that, I quit that job for a while and was a NEET again. Then I went to uni. Then I had like a huge mental breakdown at the end of it. I might talk about what uni was like in another vlog, but anyway, I had a mental breakdown. Ended up trying to like throw myself off of a multi-story car park. So I moved back home. I was a NEET for, I want to say almost a year. But maybe not. I don't know. Overall, I've not spent years as a NEET, but like, being a NEET is definitely like my default setting kind of thing. Like, I'll get a job for a while. I can hold down a job, you know, believe you me, but like, sometimes I just get bored and then I quit the job and I'm like back to being a NEET again. But yeah, like, when I came back here most recently because I redid my last year of uni and I got my degree, obviously. I came back here and I was a NEET for almost 6 months, which, well, I think it was 6 months. Pretty sure it was. But yeah, no. And then I got like a part-time job. But I still don't get that many hours, so I don't know. NEET poser. Maybe I am a poser, but I don't know. When it comes to jobs, I just want to do something that pays enough and then just chill. I'm not really climbing the corporate ladder. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right now. And I suppose Denver just like attracted me because of that and my interests. Like, I liked Serial Experiments Lane. I like sci-fi and like Philip K. Dick and the whole thing to do with the internet and how it's used as like this sort of strange psychic mirror for yourself. You know, stuff like that. I know, you probably get the gist of what I mean. Hopefully you do. But yeah. Oh, this is a nightmare. This is a really hard video. Because I am tired. Like, tired. You know. I'm about to wrap this up. Is a vlog ever availed? No. Is a vlog ever a failed vlog? No. Never. Especially when you have a knitted pumpkin with a cinnamon stick in the middle, which smells delightful.